Remember that brand from last week whose Google ads made me question my faith in humanity? Well, plot twist, they also sent me their Meta Ads account to review. And folks, I need you to sit down for this, because what I'm about to show you defies all logic and reason. Their Facebook campaigns are structured like someone let a toddler loose in their ads manager with a credit card and zero supervision. We have got audiences overlapping so hard, they're basically just paying Facebook to compete against themselves. Campaign fragmentation from hell, and ad creatives talking about new year, new me in August. This is going to be painful, but someone needs to say it. Before we go into the ad account, here a quick business snapshot. So the brand is in the supplements and sports nutrition industry. They're selling and advertising in the US, and the revenue is currently at $100K per month. The average order value of the brand is at $77, with the new customer average order value being slightly lower than that, with a site-wide conversion rate of 1.46%. Over the last 12 months, the business has been slowly declining. They're 14% down year over year, and the blended customer acquisition cost is currently very high. It's at $111, and with that, with the new customer average order value, their blended new customer return ad spend is only at 0.65x. That means with every new customer that they acquire, they're just losing money. And that's even counting in all the organic customers and all the customers coming from email and all the other channels, not even looking at the new customers from paid ads specifically. The marketing manager from the brand told me they have strong brand equity and a very loyal customer base, but year over year, the revenue is just declining. The loyal customer base has been helping them, like over the last couple of years, to be at a decent revenue level and not just completely die. But the new customer acquisition is definitely not working. Currently, it's about 80% that are returning customers, and the paid media efficiency is just very, very weak. With the current agency, they're not able to improve the new customer acquisition, and the brand is also not happy with the reporting. Like the analytics and dashboards are missing. The agency is only providing very limited insights, and that's why they reached out to us and asked us to take a look at their Google account and their Meta account. The main goal is to scale the paid advertising from about 40 to 50K per month that they're spending right now towards 150,000 per month, while at the same time improving efficiency and making sure that they can acquire new customers profitably. The marketing manager already mentioned that just from his perspective, not knowing much about paid advertising, the Meta ad account setup doesn't look good, and just taking a quick glance at it, I can totally understand that. I get that. So let's go into the ad account. So we already see a lot of different active ad campaigns, a lot of different things going on. So over the last 30 days, they have spent $35,000 on the ads, with the CPM of $13. Quite a lot of link clicks, a healthy overall click-through rate, 1.99%, close to 2%. And then if we look at some of the other metrics, we see that the return ad spend. Oh, you're not able to see it. The return on ad spend from most of the campaigns is quite low. It's about 1, 1.2, 1.9. Some of them even 0.8, 0.48. Some have no purchases at all, from what it seems like. Yeah, but quite a lot going on. All right. So the first thing that I look at when I go into the account, obviously, I just saw like the sheer amount of active campaigns, but usually I start with looking at the tracking. So going to the events manager and then looking how the tracking is looking, how the tracking is set up. We see it seems to be working. It seems to be tracking the data. But we already see that the event match quality is quite low for some of the events. For the purchases, it's the most important event is the purchase event. There it's not bad. It's at 9.2 out of 10. So that is already good. But we see that for some of the other events, the event match quality is quite low. And that just means that Meta is not able to match enough events between the conversion API and the metapixel, and therefore doesn't have the best possible data. We have this guide which basically shows like how to improve the event match quality, how to make sure that the event match quality is higher, better, and Meta has better data. Because in the end, the better the data is that you give Meta to optimize the campaigns, the better the performance will be. Without even you having to do anything, Meta will just have more data, more insights into what works and what doesn't, and therefore will be able to advertise the ads, to show the ads more efficiently and get better results. If you want this guide, just shoot a comment, leave a comment down below, and I'll send it over. All right, going back to the ad account. So the next thing is just like looking at the account structure, understanding the account structure, and just looking at this, it already looks like quite a mess. So with Meta nowadays, ideally you want to have a simplified structure. You want to make sure that everything is as simple as possible, as consolidated as possible, and you don't have a bunch of different campaigns, a bunch of different ad sets, and you really only like having as many campaigns as necessary, but obviously as little as possible. Because that will just allow you to have way more data, way more insights into what works, what doesn't work. And at the same time, Meta will have way more insights into what works, what doesn't. The campaigns and the ads will be able to get out of the learning phase and will be able to operate more efficiently and get better results. So just right away looking at that account and looking at the number of campaigns and at the current ad spend, it's just way too much. I mean, with the brand and with that ad spend, like I would probably recommend having 2 to 5 different campaigns maximum, to make sure that we can really utilize the budget in a way where it makes sense. And obviously, sometimes if you advertise in a lot of different countries or have different audience demographics that you're targeting, different customer avatars that you're targeting, or completely separate, like different product categories where like it doesn't really make sense to advertise them to the same people, to the same degree, or like completely different average order values, like some very cheap products, some very expensive products, then you need to have like a more sophisticated account structure and more different campaigns. But in this case, it looks like it's completely overkill and just a mess. I've ranked it by looking at the campaigns that got the most spend, because obviously the more a campaign has spent, the more like important it should be, the better the results should be, and the more data it has. And I mean, if we just look at the last 30 days, even the campaign that has spent the most only had 45 purchases, which is nowhere near enough for Meta to have enough data to get properly out of the learning phase and be able to optimize the ads efficiently. I mean, Meta themselves, they recommend having 50 conversions, 50 purchases per week in a campaign. But here we don't even get to 50 purchases a month. And that is even though the average order value isn't high with those $77. So with a client like that, with a brand like that, we should be able to have way higher volume on a campaign level, and therefore will be able to make optimizations way better. Then I also see that this seems to be a New Year's campaign. And we're currently in September already. So I'm not sure why why a New Year's campaign is currently running in the account. I mean, we can quickly look at the history. Let me look at the charts. Okay, yeah. So the campaign was launched in January. So it makes sense that like from the naming convention and everything, it's a New Year's campaign, New Year, New You type of campaign. But it looks like it's still running and it's still spending money to this date. And it's actually the highest spending campaign over the last 30 days. And it's kind of weird to have a New Year's campaign still running. Now, let me see whether the ads are still. So, I mean, again, going into the into the campaign, we see that there are 30 different ad sets running, and they all have it's an ABO campaign. So the budget is set on an ad set level. And we have like 30 different ad sets with like a $5 to $1 per day budget. So again, like already the campaign itself has not enough budget to be able to get out of the learning phase, get enough data to be able to learn. But then going into the ad sets, it's even way worse. Like, I mean, that is crazy. Like the campaign already like limited budget has 30 different ad sets that all have their own ad set budget. So like they don't even let Meta optimize and distribute the budget based on the performance. They decide the strict specific budget for every single ad set, and per ad sets it's only like $5 to $1. Like there are a bunch of different ad sets with $1 per day budget, and I mean with that, yeah, you're not able to get any results. Like it's just a complete waste of money. And we see like here all the ad campaigns had 0 purchases over the last 30 days. Yeah, and it's like even the best, like the best performing ad set, the one with the highest ad spend, had 4 purchases over the last 30 days. I mean, yeah, there's one that had 6 purchases. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like yeah. So I mean, the campaign overall has a return ad spend of 1.27, which is not great, but also not the worst one from the account. But we see there are tons of different ad sets that don't have any data, and most of them, almost, yeah, all of them have been running since January this year. So it was actually like a New Year's campaign that for some reason is still running to this date. I mean, we can quickly check the ads themselves. Yeah, I mean, even the creatives, I probably have to blur it out for the sake of the brand. But even the ad creatives themselves are New Year's campaigns and New Year's ads. So they're still running, they're still spending money on New Year's campaigns, on New Year's ads in September. I mean, you can soon launch them again because we're getting closer to the next year, but they've been running since January this year. And yeah, I mean, the results are not great, and we can see it on the click-through rate, like that the ads are just not relevant at all. And yeah, just not. Yeah, I mean, the click-through rate for this campaign is at 0.35%. That means out of 100 people that see the ad, only like not even one person clicks on that ad. Like 300 people have to see the ad only for one person to click on it. Like it's a very strong sign that it's not relevant at all, and the creatives and the audiences don't resonate at all, or the people are just tired of seeing New Year's ads from this brand in September. Yeah. So the average on Meta is 1%, 1% click-through rate. That means out of 100 people that see the ad, 1%, one person clicks on it. That is the average. We're usually shooting for like a 2 to 3% to really make sure that the ads are relevant, engaging, and targeting the right people. And here we're at 0.35%. Yeah. Like looking at the overall account, the performance is definitely not great. We see the link click-through rate is really low for most of the campaigns, like 0.35%, 0.28%, 0.24%, 0.43%. It's crazy low. Like I don't think I've ever seen those low click-through rates. Here we have a high one, 3.63, but that is a link click campaign. So that is basically a campaign that is just like optimizing for link clicks, getting as much traffic as possible, as cheap as possible. And I mean, with a brand like that, I would not even like have any link clicks campaigns, because those are, being completely honest, those are complete waste of money. With an account like that, it should be all optimized for purchases. It should be all all campaigns should be optimized for getting purchases, for getting results, because that would allows the brand to have a positive return on ad investment, return on ad spend, and then they will be able to scale, to increase the budget, to spend more, to double, triple, 10x the ad spend, the ad budget. And then they will automatically get way more traffic, way more awareness, and all those other things that brands always want to have. The best way to get them is to get purchases, be profitable, be successful, and spend way more budget. And once you're spending millions on ads every single month, then you'll have the brand awareness and the traffic that you want without having to actively pushing it. We see there are also some campaigns that for some reason have like multiple different attribution settings, multiple conversions that they're targeting. So overall, I mean, the whole account just looks really, really messy, and it looks like there's no structure in place. And those like traffic campaigns push up the average. So the average link click-through rate at 2% looks okay. But if we just look at the conversion campaigns, we see that it's actually really, really low. Because with a traffic campaign, it's easy to have like a 5% link click-through rate or higher than that. Like it's not good. Here, even like a 10% is also like a link click campaign. So with that, like the average is not 1%. When I was talking about the average link click-through rate being 1%, I was talking only about purchase campaigns, conversion campaigns, these type of campaigns. So with that, like the average order value fluctuates between the campaigns, but I mean, as I mentioned, it's all based on very limited data, based on not many insights, because the budget per campaign and the results per campaign are just so low. We see the cost per link clicks are really high, especially considering that their CPMs are good. Like the CPMs are decent, with like $13, $14, $15. Those are normal, I would say. But since the click-through rate is so crazy low, and not a lot of people click on the ads, with that, the cost per link click is just really, really high. All right. The client, the brand, they also said that they're not able to get new customers, and that they're struggling with new customer acquisition. So let's actually look at the audience breakdown, and let's look at how the budget is distributed between the different audiences. And we already see that a lot of spend is going to existing customers. Like with this campaign from the $3,500, $1,300 were spent on existing customers, and $2,100 on new audiences. Here it's 1,300 on existing, 1,900 on new audiences. And here's 1,000 existing, 2,000 new audiences. So it's great to see that at least the spend is higher on new audiences than on existing customers. So at least Meta spending more on new audiences than on existing. But the split is still very, very skewed or very aggressive for existing customers. So usually with a brand like that, we want to have 80 to 90% of the budget going into new audiences, potentially even more than that, because all the focus should be on new customer acquisition, on acquiring new customers, get them into the door. And then obviously we want to have a little bit of remarketing, a little bit of retargeting, but ideally emails should do the heavy lifting, and just having a great product that leads to people coming back to you and reordering. And here it's really like a lot that is coming from existing customers. We see for some of those campaigns, there were more purchases from existing customers than from new audiences. And yeah, it's definitely a lot of existing customers that are coming to, that are getting targeted and that are buying it. With that, we also see that the frequency is actually really, really high. Like on the whole account, the frequency over last 30 days is at 5.2. That means on average, every single person like who got targeted by the ads has seen the ads over 5 times. And for a brand that is spending 35,000 and that is targeting a pretty big audience, a big market, and at the same time also wants to be focusing on new customers, it's a really, really high frequency. Like 5.2 is crazy high. And that basically means that they keep showing the ads over and over and over to the same people, and a lot of those are existing customers or people who are maybe like engaged audiences. Like here, it's for some reason it's not defined yet. You can technically also have an engaged audiences, and then the new audiences tab will be split between completely new audiences and then people who engaged with the brand before. Would be interesting to see what the split here is, because based on the data, it looks like Meta is just showing the same ads to the same people over and over and over again. And therefore, we have a really, really high frequency. I mean, for the existing customers, it's unbelievably high. Like for this one campaign, the New Year's campaign, over the last 30 days, the frequency is at 22. That means the people in that campaign have seen those ads 22 times over the last 30 days. If we look at this campaign, it's 18. If we look at this, it's 21. Here it's 14. And obviously, like the existing customers across all campaigns are the same. And that means they're just seeing the ads over and over and over and over again. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just start to hate that brand because like they don't see any other ads. They just see these ads. And I mean, we looked at the creatives briefly, and they're okay, but not relevant. Like it's still showing the New Year's ads, for example. And yeah, that means people have been seeing the same ads for the past 9 months, and they see them like maybe hundreds of times every single month across all the different campaigns. And that is crazy. But also for new audiences, the frequency is really high. I mean, with a brand like that, we want to have the frequency between 1 to 2 because we don't want to like just keep showing the same ads to the same people over and over again. We want to expand our reach. We want to increase our funnel. We want to make sure that the brand gets shown to new people, to completely new audiences all the time. And we target new potential customers. But here we see even for the new audiences, the frequencies 4.8, 3.5, 6.3, 3.8, 3.98. So really, really high. And that means that Meta has decided that those creatives that they're currently using, those ads that they're currently using, are only working for a very, very small pool of people, for a very small audience. And they're just showing the content to that small audience. For us, that means basically that we need completely different creative strategy, different content strategy to make sure that we can open up the funnel and show the ads to a wider range of people, and show the ads to more people, to more different people, and expand our reach. And with that, like, just have way more people to target, because right now, with the current setup, Meta just keeps showing the same ads to the same people over and over and over again. And with that, like, the return ad spend is surprisingly like not even completely terrible. Like 1.2, not great. Like the brand should be significantly higher than that. But considering that it's just showing the same old ads to the same people, I wouldn't have been surprised if it's even worse. But we obviously also have to consider that a lot of those are existing customers, and like almost half of the purchases are from already existing customers that are just repurchasing, that are like fans of the brand. And oftentimes with those, the ads don't really have that much of an incremental effect. Like a lot of those people would have bought anyways, and it doesn't matter whether they see an ad or not, they will buy. So the ad spend can be wasted, or is oftentimes wasted if you just keep showing those ads to those people over and over again. I mean, we can also quickly look at the attribution window and at the attribution settings, because overall the account uses 7-day click, 1-day view attribution. And that means if in the last 7 days someone has seen an ad, if in the last 7 days someone has clicked on an ad, or in the last 24 hours someone has seen an ad and they just purchase, then Meta can count it as a purchase, as an ad. And wow. I mean, we already see it. Like with the 7-day click plus 1-day view, this campaign had 45 purchases. This one had 44. This one had 63. So okay-ish results. But then if we just look at 7-day click, so we just remove the 1-day view attribution, those people that in the last 24 hours have seen an ad but haven't even clicked on it, haven't engaged with it, it immediately drops down to almost no purchases, like 4 purchases, 5, 8, 6. And looking at 1-day click, it's even lower than that. Wow, that is the craziest, the worst possible results that I've ever seen, I think. That is literally unbelievable. Like the cost per result with 7-day click plus 1-day view is at $78, which is too high for the brand, but still like in the realm. Like still, like if the customer comes back, reorders at some point, they might be profitable. But looking at 7-day click attribution, it's $885, and 1-day click, it's $1,181. Wow, they're spending, like, imagine they're spending $1,000 to get a customer who buys something for, on average, $77, and then potentially comes back, maybe doesn't. That is crazy. I mean, we don't have the return on ad spend on here. Let me pull it up. Purchase return on ad spend. Here. Yeah, I mean, it's not even existent with the other attribution windows. Is that correct? Yeah, I mean, the return ad spend is for some reason not even existent if you look at 1-day click or 7-day click attribution. But yeah, I mean, we see it's like those numbers are massively inflated by those 1-day view attributions. So people who just saw the ad over the last 24 hours but haven't even clicked on it. And I mean, it makes sense because what is happening right now, Meta is basically just showing the ads over and over and over again to the same people all the time. And those are the people where Meta already knows that they will buy at some point, either because they're existing customers or because like how they behave, how they have been on the website, how they engage with the organic content, like all of those things. Meta knows that those people will buy at some point, and therefore Meta just keeps showing them the ads over and over and over again. And at some point they buy. Like they don't even click on the ads because they're tired of them. Like they have seen those ads hundreds of times already, so they don't want to click on it. They don't click on it. But at some point they buy, and because Meta showed them one ad in the last 24 hours, whether they like looked at it or not, whether they like immediately skipped it or not, like it doesn't matter. Meta can count it as a purchase with this attribution window. And yeah, looking at just 7-day click, even 7-day click, most of those purchases are not getting tracked anymore. So yeah, the results, yeah, it completely makes sense why the brand mentioned that they're not happy with the results, that they're not getting any new customers, and that like the brand has been declining over the last 12 months. They have 80% returning customers. So the product is great. People love the product, and that's why the brand only declined 14%, but the new customer acquisition is not working at all. I mean, we've already seen, like in the last video, I already walked over the Google Ads setup, and it already wasn't great. Like with the Google Ads setup, they also weren't targeting any new audiences, and it was primarily just like retargeting and showing the ads to the same people over and over again that are already searching for the brand and looking for the products from that specific brand online. And I mean, here on Meta, it's even worse. on Meta. They're spending more. Like over the last 30 days, they've spent $35,000, and it's not getting them any results. Like it's unbelievable. Like I can't believe what some agencies do, what kind of work they provide. And yeah, I mean, the brand has been working with this agency for 2 or 3 years, and for me, it's just like a complete scam. What they have been doing, like there's no other way to say it. I mean, the complete setup is just a mess. Like it's an unbelievable mess. But at the same time, they're just not getting results, not getting any results, and still running like ads from the beginning of the year, like New Year's campaigns, New Year's ads. I'm pretty sure if I would go into every single campaign, it would be even worse. Like here we see October 2024 new ads. Like I'm pretty sure they're still just running like ads from the October 2024. And yeah, they have about 20 active campaigns. All of those use ABO, like ad set budget optimization. And in total, it's more than 300 different ad sets. And most of those ad sets have a budget of like $1 to maximum $5 per day. So if you look at the just all the ad sets, we see that most of them, like most of the active ad sets, don't get any meaningful results, because all of them have like a $2 to $3 ad spend. Like, I mean, I can just continue scrolling through it. And here, like this ad set has spent $60 over the last 30 days, no purchases, $60, no purchases, $60, no purchases. And I can just keep scrolling, keep going through it, like $2 per day ad sets, $5 per day ad sets, $1 per day ad sets, $5 per day ad sets, and it's just a complete mess. Like, yeah, they're not following any best practices. Meta, like, no matter who you would ask, like, this account is doing everything wrong possible. And it's unbelievable. Even just looking at our 100K Meta Ads blueprint, and that's basically our resource, how to scale an ad account on Meta to 100K per month in ad spend. And just starting with an example of an account with a zero structure, and it just reminds me of that. Like that was another account that I audited a while back, and we just see there were like hundreds of different campaigns that were all like spending money, all had like decent ad spend. And with that campaign structure, it was like, in terms of the structure, it was a bigger mess, but at the same time, they were at least getting some better results and acquiring some new customers. But this just reminds me of that. And this is an example of how an ad account with a structure should look like. So here we have an account that had almost 1 million in ad spend, and that's across 4 different campaigns. And all of those campaigns had a clear target, clear goal, in terms of why we had that campaign, why the campaign was there. We used no ABO, like no ad set budget optimization. It was all campaign budget optimization for maximum efficiency. And with that million in ad spend, we had an overall 4.59 return on ad spend and generated over 4 million euros in sales, in revenue. And yeah, with the current account structure, there would be no way for the client, for the account, for the brand to scale to 100K per month in ad spend and more without not getting any results. I mean, even with 35K per month, they're already not getting any results, and they want to scale to 150K per month in ad spend, but they knew that with the current setup, with the current results, they're not able to get there. So this is why they asked me to look at the account. To summarize, here are the main findings from this account. So in terms of the tracking, it was fine. Like compared to everything else, the tracking is good. The event match quality can be improved. Like the signals are a little bit low, but like seeing everything else, it's just like a minor issue that will not make a huge difference compared to everything else. The big problem is definitely the structure of the account. excessive fragmentations, like hundreds of ad sets. The frequency is extremely high in almost all of the audiences. 40% of the budget is hitting existing customers at a high frequency. With that, like campaigns can't even exit the learning phase where you need 30 to 50 conversions per week. And with some clients, it's difficult to hit that target because they have a very high AOV. Like one new customer, like they need to spend $1,000 to acquire a new customer, and their budget might not be that high yet. But with this brand, like the AOV is low, it's easy to acquire new customers, and they already have decent budget, so it's easy to hit that kind of goal. A bunch of old ads are still live. Like with that, they're just not relevant at all. New Year's ads in September. I mean, what else should I say? They don't use any collaborator ads, which again is great for a brand like that. They have a lot of influencers, a lot of content creators, and collaborator ads are the ones where you partner up with an influencer and run the ads through their account, and that usually improves the performance and improves the results even further. The click-through rates are crazy low, like from the conversion campaigns, purchase campaigns, most of them are below 0.3%, which is one of the lowest, I think even the lowest I've ever seen. In terms of the creative system, there's definitely an imbalance between like studio production and authentic UGC creator content. They barely have any top of the funnel assets. They have some, but those are not tied to the brand or the product. They're just showing like people exercising basically and not tying it to the brand or the product. But at the same time, the current assets are just primarily bottom of the funnel and keep targeting like the same people over and over again, and are just boring. With that, like the CPMs have been increasing. The click-through rate is crazy low. With the attribution, like 7-day click plus 1-day view, the results, as I shared, look decent at first glance, but then breaking it down, looking into other attribution windows, we see that the results are actually very, very bad, very low, and they're artificially inflated. They look better than they are, and at the same time, they don't get any net new customer growth. So what is the blueprint to fix all of that? So first of all, consolidate into a few purpose-built campaigns, not have those 20 different campaigns, ideally 3 to 5 different campaigns with clear reasons why there are those campaigns, with clear targets, clear goals for the campaign. Then exclude the purchases, like 180 to 365 days, or even all purchases from existing from the prospecting campaigns, from the most of the campaigns, because right now the purchase, like the existing purchasers, see the ads over and over and over again, and the retention of the brand is already really good, already really high. So we don't need to do that. Maybe completely stop advertising to existing customers, or just on a very low budget, and therefore also on a low frequency, because no one wants to see the same ads over and over again 100 times every single month. Then they definitely need a creative testing operating system. So basically a system that allows them to test different angles, formats, hooks, different types of ads, product demos, reasons to believe, social proof, collabs, all of those things, and really like have a feedback loop that shows them what works, what doesn't work, and how can we improve, how can we get better results. Because right now, basically it looks like the agency just threw everything at the wall and launched like hundreds, if not thousands, of different ads, and just keeps all of them running at like $1 per day budget, and it's not doing anything. That is not the way to improve and scale an account. Then they definitely should deploy collaborator ads with like different ambassadors, content creators, influencers. Actually, the marketing manager told me that they wanted to do collab ads, but the agency didn't know how to do them, how to set them up, and how to do those kind of ads where you run them through a partner account, through a content creator's Instagram account. And then also just clean up the tracking, the measurement, the reporting, and also look at like 7-day click attribution, 1-day click attribution, to really measure the real impact of the ads, and not optimize based on some vanity metrics or some artificially inflated numbers that Meta is showing. With all of that, I think the brand has a great opportunity. There is so much that they can do. And even with the terrible setup, they've been able to get at least decent results and have been able to stay consistently at about 200K per month in revenue. There was some decline over the last 12 months, but not much. So I'm very, very confident that with the right setup, with the right account structure, campaign structure, with the right creative system, with the right ads, we'll be able to completely crush it for them and get them to their goals, be able to increase the ad spend to 100, 150, 200K per month in ad spend, and get them a bunch of new customers profitably. So I hope that was valuable. I hope that was interesting. If you have any questions, if you want me to dive deeper into anything specific, shoot a comment down below. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching and see you soon. Bye.